You're tuning into Black and White Sports on YouTube. The no-holds-barred truth on sports. The main event starts.
Right, Black and White Sports supporters. Well, I wondered how long it would be before we started hearing rumblings of this, based on the fact that the Steelers have played pretty well this year and Aaron Rodgers has played pretty well this year. Certainly better than he was with the Jets. Of course, I contend, and I brought this up yesterday in the Vikings video about Kirk Cousins, always the second season after the Achilles is where you look for that massive bump. Although Aaron Rodgers was coming on, you could see the healthiness taking hold the last 6 games that he played with the Jets as well. Well, Aaron Glenn's favorite future Hall of Fame quarterback might be looking at a second run, a second act with the Pittsburgh Steelers. There's a lot of season left. We don't know how this is going to end up. And I would caution, and we'll take a look at it in a second, anybody remember how that went for Brett Favre and the Minnesota Vikings? Steelers may be changing their stance on Aaron Rodgers. Larry Brown Sports. The Pittsburgh Steelers and Aaron Rodgers both entered their current relationship while operating under the presumption that it would be a one-year arrangement. That might not be the case anymore. The Steelers are at least open to the idea of bringing Rodgers back in 2026, according to Jeremy Fowler of ESPN. The organization is thrilled with how well the quarterback has played, and while they still scour the NFL draft for a quarterback of the future, there is a much greater willingness to entertain having Rodgers for another season. Something we want to mention here is Will Howard got hurt. They drafted Will Howard out of Ohio State, and some believe he's got some real potential. John Gruden was a huge Will Howard fan when he had him on the QB camp, and he thought he had some real Josh Allen kind of tendencies, makeup, size, athleticism, that sort of thing. Good arm. It's possible, considering he's a 6th-round pick, the Steelers might be like, well, let's ride Aaron another year. Will Howard got hurt. Once he gets healthy, he can start really diving into the playbook, more so than he already has, and start fine-tuning his skills. And maybe by the time Aaron would walk away at the end of next year, maybe they've already got the quarterback of the future on the roster. It's unclear whether Rodgers feels the same way. So this is the Steelers that are putting this out there right now. He has spoken as if he views this as his final NFL season. Correct. That could certainly change if he enjoys his experience in Pittsburgh, continues to play at a high level. But the fact that this is even worth discussing while the 41-year-old is on a 1-year deal demonstrates just how well things have gone. The Steelers are off to a 4-2 start, and Rodgers is a key reason why. He's completed 68.6% of his passes for 1,270 yards, 14 touchdowns, 5 picks. His numbers in Pittsburgh are up across the board relative to where they were last season with the New York Jets. At one point last season, they seemed to think Russell Wilson had solved their quarterback situation. That obviously did not turn out to be the case. Well, and they tried to re-sign Justin Fields. They're probably thinking they're lucky stars. That didn't happen. This is Brett Favre right here. Let's go back to the Vikings years. 12-4, 68% completion, 4,200 yards, 33 interceptions, only 7 picks. He was actually 4th in the MVP voting that year. But then he decided he should come back. And I remember that was an injury-riddled nightmare. all right, for the 41-year-old Favre. 5-8, it was ugly. 60% completion, 11 touchdowns, 19 interceptions. The wheels absolutely fell off for Brett Favre. So, let's see, 41, Rodgers is 42 right now. That was 2025, and this was 2010. My God, it's hard to believe that's been 15 years ago since Brett Favre retired. But anyway, it seems like he played like 3 years ago. When you get to my age, and I'm not super old, but when you get to my age, it's like, oh, that was like 4 years ago. And then you're like, no, it was like 21 years ago. I mean, that's just how you kind of sort of remember things, you know. I don't know why that is, but you would somewhat caution that. Now, the one thing I will say, two things that Favre and Rodgers have in common: among the greatest cannons attached to his shoulder of all time. I mean, an extremely strong arm. I imagine to this day, I bet Favre is still a flamethrower when he gets out and just throws the ball around. It's usually the legs that go, right? And that usually turns out to be a problem. The other thing that has changed in the last 15 years, and I think part of this was quarterbacks watching how Tom Brady conducted his business. Most of these quarterbacks have all embraced some ultra fanatical nutrition, fitness program, that kind of thing. We've seen Aaron Rodgers is in phenomenal conditioning and phenomenal shape at 42. And I never really saw Brett Favre as some fitness, fanatic. I don't remember. And I was a huge Brett Favre fan. Sure, he worked out, but these guys have fine-tuned diets, recovery, all these. And then, look, we all know Rodgers has got various alternative methods of recovery, right? So, I mean, there's a world where, yeah, he might come back and may have another good year. But there's also a world where you run the risk of him falling off a cliff, 5 games in the next season. I think they got something in Will Howard. And they might be like, could we pull a Packers, Rodgers to Jordan Love? Could we pull that on a shorter scale? Rodgers to Will Howard? I don't know. I think we'll have to see. There's a lot of football left. I said this is a completely successful experience if two things happen. Number one, it's successful if Rodgers makes the playoffs for him. But for Mike Tomlin and the Steelers, they need to make the playoffs and win a playoff game for the first time in many, many, many years. Make it and win a playoff game. Could I see them sneaking around into the AFC Championship game? I kind of feel like it could happen. We'll have to see, but you never know. I mean, the Ravens are down, even though I think they're about to make a run. The Bills don't feel unbeatable this season at all. They feel like they're mortal. And, of course, the Chiefs is the team you got to worry about now. Tell me what you think. Peace. I'm out. Till next time.
Thanks for watching the show. Be sure to like, comment, and subscribe. Be sure to tune in next time on Black and White Sports.